Greetings, greetings, beautiful people, and thank you for tuning in to Movement Medicine Morsels today. This is Yoga Month, and we're continuing the theme of exploring some perhaps lesser known aspects of yoga, some of the inner practices. And today's theme is examining the art of the pause, of taking a little bit of time to notice, to reflect, and to see how this is also very much part of the whole practice of yoga. We don't want to miss that part. In fact, you're already taking a pause from some of the busyness of your day to spend 15, 20 minutes playing with some new ideas and moving your breath in your body. So that's already an example of a pause. Some people have called this COVID time the great pause because, like many spiritual retreats, we've had to turn away from some of the outside factors that we're so accustomed to, and we've needed to shelter indoors, we've needed to change our habits, we've needed to examine internally and just take a break from the running around. So hopefully we can retain some of those lessons. And another part of pausing is in yogic breathing, or actually any breathing. We all breathe, and breathing is a wonderful yogic practice. We'll talk more about that on the pranayama day. And there is, as we know, an inhalation or inspiration where we're bringing in oxygen and energy, subtle energy. And then there's an expiration or a releasing of the gases we no longer need and a releasing of tensions. But what you may not always think about is that there is a slight pause between those breaths. So when we inhale, there's a slight emptiness between the inhalation and the exhalation. And at the end of the exhalation, there's a slight pause or emptiness. So let's play a little bit with this. I'm going to sit back a little bit further and I'm going to invite you to find your beautiful posture. And we always want to bring our posture because shifting our posture is already a way of interrupting any old habits. Because in yoga, we talk about the pause being the place where you can interrupt your habituated patterns. So you can interrupt anxiety, you can interrupt the unconscious way you go about things, and we get a chance to slow things down so that we can actually choose. Am I doing something because I want to be doing it? Is this the way I want to be doing it? Or am I doing it because I'm on a little circular thing that's just keeping me going in the ways that I've seen around me or the ways I've learned at an early age? So we get a chance to make better choices. So let's make a choice about our posture. You may have come in thinking, I know I'm feeling particularly tired today, but I know that these practices help me become more receptive to more energy. So planting the feet, planting the sit bones and feeling them. Take a moment, take a pause to breathe and feel your feet, your sit bones, and the stability that this connection to the earth element gives. And while maintaining that stability, grow upwards the way a plant grows from its stalk, from its roots below the stalk, rising up. The neck is long, the spine is long, and you're reaching up with the top of your spine to your own personal star or the heavens above, and then relaxing the shoulders down. And let's add some breathing. We have a beautiful posture now. We're moving towards that. Inhale, raising the shoulders. Exhale, let them melt down while we sigh. Inhale through the nose, raise the shoulders. Sigh it down. One more time. Filling with fresh breath. Exhale, sigh, release the old, and just wiggle a little bit. In fact, let's inhale, circle one shoulder up, exhale back down and around. Inhale, the other shoulder goes up, and then exhale back down and around. First shoulder up on the inhale, Exhale, back, down, and around. Last shoulder, inhale, up and back. Exhale, down and around. And maybe a little bit of wiggling just to see how nice that is. All right, continuing with the breath, because the breath is our friend and an excellent agent with which we can examine the art of the pause. I'll turn sideways for this one. So on this exhale, the waistline is going to rock back. The chin is going to dip forward. We get a nice round, stretched out back. And the opposite on the inhale. As we inhale, we're going to draw the elbows back, spread the wings of the chest. And let's do a couple more of these. Exhale, rock the spine back. Inhale, rock it forward. Let's do one more. Sigh it out if you like. And inhale in through the nose. And pause. And just take a moment in this pause to retain your beautiful posture, to notice your breath, and begin to observe, almost like you're listening for a small voice or a whisper. Do you feel a little different? Do you feel different than you did when you first tuned in? Do any of the movements we've done, the shoulders, the breathing, the rooting down and stretching up, have they made any difference or not? Because again, we don't want to tense up to scramble for an answer to please someone. So please don't please me. We're doing this so that we can determine for ourselves what is our experience. So maybe you feel a little different, maybe you don't feel a little bit different, but the fact that we're taking a little bit of time in an open witness consciousness without judging to simply observe, to pause and observe what is. Take another breath or two, filling your belly gently as you inhale and letting the breath out equally gently as you exhale. You're just mindful of the breath continuing in this relaxing mode, and this gives a lovely field in which you can pay a little bit more attention or be more mindful. Notice how you feel without good or bad ascribed to it, simply what is. So taking the pause to notice what is a beautiful use of the art of the pause. Now we're going to take a couple of breaths, just quietly listening to see if we notice a natural pause between the turning of the breaths. So let's exhale gently and inhale equally gently through the nose. Just notice and let the exhale flow out of you. Notice there's a place where the breath needs to change, and then you're ready for your inhalation. At the top of the inhalation, just observe. We're not trying to hold the breath. It's tiny, tiny suspension, and noticing the exhale. So take a couple of breaths and be like an explorer, just gently paying attention to something that's very subtle, almost like you're in a forest and you think you see a deer. And it's so miraculous and gentle, you just want to get really quiet and attentive. So let's be attentive to the miracle of our breath. When you inhale, you just notice at the top of the inhale what happens for an inhalation to shift to an exhalation. And at the bottom of the exhalation, what you notice in that transition to the inhalation. And just let that go gently and notice how you feel after a few moments of exploring this little exercise. This is what we call the 4 parts of the natural breath in yoga. We include those delicate transition pauses. Okay. One more pause to notice because we're often rushing through things, especially things we've done a lot. The art of staying present in something that we've done a lot repetitively becomes a lovely exercise in and of itself. I'm going to come a little closer to the screen. We're going to do a little bit of facial tapping, but we're only going to tap one half of the face in a very loving, kind way. And I'm going to turn this way because we're going to use, you choose whichever half you want to use. And first, we bring ourselves to our posture, our beautiful breath, and we raise the same hand as the side of the face we're going to play with. So just tapping from the chest, up the front of the throat, and lovingly. This is loving touch. We're bringing extra awareness with our touch and coming up that side of the neck. And when you get to the ear, make a peace sign, and the index finger taps behind the ear, and the middle finger taps in front of the ear. And then tapping from the center of the chin, up the side of the jaw, yawning a little bit. We're only doing one half, so try to make sure you don't sneak in the other half. There's a reason for this. Tap one half of the bottom lip. Tap one half, same half of the upper lip. Tap beside the nostril of that chosen side, and then come up the side of the nose, tap back down, and tap up under the cheekbone, fluffing up the cheekbone lovingly. You can even pat upwards a little bit, and then patting that cheek lightly right under the eye, and coming out to the temple area, lightly tapping the temple. Remember your posture, your rootedness, your lightness, your breath, and now very lightly, lovingly tapping, fluffing around the eye socket bone to the bridge of the nose, up around the eyebrow. A couple of times, tenderly, lovingly, mindfully, and then tapping half the forehead and just one tap over the side of the head. Well, I think it'll have to be two because one will do the upper part, come up in front of the ear and do the side of the head. And for a lovely little finish, some rubbing of the ear. Just massage that ear all the way around. You can twist and pull and then massage that lovely little flap in front of the ear. And then shake out that hand and take a few moments with eyes closed or open and notice how the two halves of your face feel. This is using the art of the pause to digest whatever echoes, whatever assimilation, whatever balancing or shift is occurring. You may even want to take a look at yourself in a mirror if that's available to you, or at another time if you try this experiment. You may find that that half of your face looks a little bit brighter. So if anyone wants to put fingers to keyboard after this session and let me know, did you feel a difference or not? And remember, there's no pressure. It may be truthful that you don't. And that is, if that's your truth, that's your truth. That's you. So I also in these sessions want you to experience your own sovereignty, to try these things on, and then make your own decisions about them. Now, some of you, I know my other half of my face is going like, come on, can I get it too? Can me too? So with lightheartedness, whether you felt anything different or not, doesn't matter. We're going to tap with the other hand up and down the front of the throat lovingly, because the intention of how we do things is also a part of what we do. Coming up the side of the throat and making a peace sign to tap in front and behind that ear. Go up and down a couple of times, lovingly, lovingly. And then tapping from the center of the chin up the jaw on that side, yawning a little bit so you give a bonus to those chewing muscles. Tapping that lip, the underlip on the one side, tapping the upper lip on the one side, tapping outside the nostril on the second side. then tapping up the side of the nose into the bridge, coming underneath the cheekbone and fluffing up that lightness, that kind of smiley, nice way to bring energy to the face. Tapping very gently the apple of your cheek, just below the eye, coming out to the temple area. Remember your beautiful posture, your gentleness. We're not rushing. That's another way of looking at the pause. We don't have to rush here. This is a slowing down zone. And coming around the eye socket, up around the eyebrow bone, and then the forehead coming up over the skull, all the way around to the base of the skull, wrapping under the ear, and then tapping the side of the head. And voila, shaking out, we've caught up. Just sit for a little bit, because sometimes notice what you feel right away, if you feel something right away, and notice if it shifts. It might start to settle or balance. It's almost like weather patterns shifting and finding, constantly changing and rebalancing. And breathe and smile into your current awareness of your face, your scalp, your skull. And we're going to finish with a little bit of movement for the whole body. And I invite you to come and stand to do this, or you can sit, of course. So taking that pause in our day to attend to our bodies, not only to our minds. We stand with our feet planted, connecting, embodying ourselves to our connection to gravity, to the earth element, to the stability. We also, at the same time, we rise up to connect to our soul star. And you can even reach up with your fingertips and stretch and touch the sky and reach with one hand. Inhale, exhale, relax that hand. Inhale, reach up with the other hand, relax. We'll do that again. Inhale, feel the stretch through the whole body. Inhale, and then exhale, release down. Shaking a little bit, just lightly jiggling, releasing any tension. Where I am, it's morning, so anybody in my time zone might still be waking up. You might have stiffness from sleeping. You might be in another time zone where it's evening for you and you've had a long day. Maybe you feel a little tired or your energy is a bit dropped. So the shaking can make a shift from where we are to a refreshed place, because we're moving energy. We're jiggling all of our joints. You can jiggle through your ankles, your knees, your hips. You can twist, you can jiggle through your spine. You can even make sound. Ah! And it's nice to also circle the wrists and to jiggle and shake up into the sky. Here's a nice place to lift and drop your heels if you want to. Breathe in deep, breathe in the sky. Ah. And then shake it out, shake it out. So simple, but so transformative. Even a few minutes pause in your day. If you're sitting at a computer working from home, you might want to set one of your alarms on a nice gentle sound so it doesn't jar you, and just get up and shake for a minute. Give yourself a minute. And then from the shaking, we can slow down. And if you have enough time to add the twisting, the rotations, you've got a full body experience. The feet can be flat. And the other variation is a little bit further turning by lifting the heel and looking around yourself. Of course, you amplify any of these exercises by joining your mindfulness, your playfulness, your freshness, so that they do not become habituated patterns, but they can be freshening every time you do them. Let this come back to a gentle, gentle finish. And we'll do 3 Buddha holds up the world, just for fun. So letting this stop, we cup our hands with the palms facing upwards, elbows are rounded. We bend our knees and we exhale. We acknowledge the earth. On the inhalation, gathering earth energy up through the body At the level of the heart, the hands start to turn outwards. So we finish the inhalation by palms pressing the sky, feet pressing the earth. Exhalation, we start to lower the hands around the heart level. They turn up with the palms. You can bend down whatever amount feels good to you, small, big, touch the ground if you want. Inhale, carry the energy up through your legs, through your trunk. Press the sky, hold it up. Exhale, bring the blessings of the sky down through your very body, touching the earth. And one more time, inhale, reaching up, holding up the sky. This time on the exhale, bring the palms together and bring a beam of healing energy to rest in front of the heart. Take a breath here, feel your heart expanding, your lungs expanding and relaxing. And finish by sliding the hands down, folding at the thumb and index finger. You can even step your feet a little closer if you want, you don't have to. And let your breath settle at your belly. Feel the inhalation expanding you. Notice that little subtle pause as the inhalation changes to the exhalation. Notice that subtle pause just between the exhalation and the inhalation. And smile in this treasure, this magnificent treasure. A few glimpses at the art of the pause. May you have many refreshing pauses during your day or evening so that you can reconnect to your beautiful energy and the energy of the world around us. And thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next time on Movement Medicine Morsels. Bye for now.